Welcome back to Hannity. So NBC's Rachel Maddow was taking a lot of heat for her massive viewer letdown the other night when she focused her show on President Trump's 2005 leaked tax return. Now, she's not pointing the finger at herself. No, in an interview with the Associated Press, Maddow says, quote, "Because I have information about the president doesn't mean that it's necessarily a scandal. It doesn't mean that it's damning information. If other people left to that conclusion without me indicating that it was, that hype is external to what we did." So, oh, I get it. It's the viewer's fault that they were let down. Oh, okay. Rachel tweeted this, though, the quote, "Breaking, we've got Trump tax returns tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Seriously." And then one of her liberal colleagues, Lawrence O'Donnell, tweeted out, quote, "Yes, seriously, I will be watching." And then, of course, this is the night we've been waiting for. Well, sounds like a typical liberal to me. You know, sound like Obama blaming George Bush for 8 years. Here's reaction. Former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski, former Obama economic advisor Austan Goolsbee. Austan, he paid a higher rate. He paid $38 million in taxes. You're the economic guy. He paid a higher rate than Comcast NBC, a higher rate than the Obamas at 19%. He paid more in that 1 year. The Obamas paid $6.1 million in 16 years. He deserves a pat on the back. He looks pretty generous to me.
Well, I don't know. That was 12 years ago. I'm surprised you're going through this, Sean. I thought you don't like them releasing this kind of information.
No, I don't have a problem with NBC reporting it at all. But I would like it. But whoever leaks it, that would be a felony, and they would get 5 years in prison.
I was going to say, Sean, that I'm going to be upset on your behalf because, as you know, I have been totally consistent on both WikiLeaks against Clinton and on the things against Trump. I don't think people should be dwelling on getting illegal stuff and illegally releasing it. I don't think they should be doing that.
Listen, and I can appreciate that point of view. But you know what? In journalism, it doesn't matter if you're an advocacy journalist or a liberal journalist like Rachel is. In that sense, she's protected. But, Corey, that's not the point. I think the bigger point is here that here you have the fact that they tried to tie this to a 2005 property sale of a Trump property to a Russian oligarch where he more than doubled his money, and somehow the Russians in 2005 knew that he was going to be president, elected in 2016, and take the office in 2017, and somehow they were buying some influence back then, when NBC couldn't even figure out on election night that Donald Trump won. It's a little bit humorous to me.
Sean, it's amazing. I'm going to tell your readers, your listeners, something that they may not already know. Donald Trump is really, really rich. He made $153 million 11 years ago. He paid $38 million in taxes. What we know is he bought a piece of property and he sold it for double what he paid for it. Good for him. That's what smart business people do. You know, if the liberals had their way, they'd want to be saying that he took a loss on the property. The bottom line is he did what is very best for his family, for his business, for all the people who work for him. He paid 25% in taxes, an effective tax rate at the federal level. Now, all of a sudden, the liberals don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the fact that Bernie Sanders paid 13% effective tax rate. Donald Trump paid 25%. Nobody is now saying, well, Donald Trump isn't really rich anymore. He made $153 million 11 years ago, Sean. This is real money even to liberals. It's amazing.
Yeah, your friends, the Obamas, they're not doing so well. They're not keeping up with Donald Trump's rate. They only paid $6.1 million in 15 years, and Trump paid $38 million in a single year. And the Obamas paid a 19% tax rate, much lower than Donald Trump paid.
Wait, Sean, it almost sounds like you're talking about the tax returns that President Obama released, and you're comparing them to the tax returns that President Trump never released. This is from 12 years ago, Sean.
Right. It was found in a mailbox.
As
Vladimir Putin here might have put it there.
Of all the last 45 years, every president has released their tax returns.
And you know what? There's no obligation, no legal obligation to do so, is there?
There's no obligation, right?
Is
there anything that could be on the tax returns that would make you upset? If you found out that he had received actually direct payments from Russian oligarchs, would that upset you?
Birth certificate, for crying out loud. He didn't want to release that either, which was stupid.
He went after Barack Obama's birth certificate, said he wasn't born in this country and wasn't a citizen. Did that bother you?
Sean, Sean, what's amazing is now they don't want to talk about Donald Trump's tax returns. Van Jones, who is no supporter of Donald Trump, said this was a nothing burger. The fact is Donald Trump paid 25% effective tax rate, and he made $153 million. He's really, really rich, is what he's always said. And now the liberals don't want to talk about it because he's paying more in taxes than Barack Obama or Bernie Sanders combined at this point almost.
All right, guys. Appreciate you both being with us.